would like to call the April 20th, 2024 regular board meeting of the Fenton Community High School District 100 Board to order. May I have a roll call?
Figueroa.
Here.
Goodrich.
Here.
Haid.
Here.
Kovac.
Present.
Lewis.
Here.
Radzinski. Here. Rago.
Here.
We have a quorum. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sam, please read our Fenton mission, beliefs, and Bison Way statements.
Fenton mission statement: cultivate successful, passionate, empowered learners through rigor, relevance, and relationships. Fenton belief statement: successful, passionate, empowered learners thrive when we provide a safe, caring, and welcoming environment, diversity, equity, and inclusion unify our community, school and home collaborate as one, we champion innovative teaching and engage learning with state-of-the-art facilities, we infuse social emotional learning into academics and culture. We prepare students to fulfill their civic responsibility. We immerse students in authentic life experiences. And oh, that's better. Okay, here we go. The Bison Way. Students and adults at Fenton High School create a safe, caring, empathetic environment where we believe in each other, respect diversity, communicate openly, grow together, and hold each other to high expectations to become the leaders and innovators of the future.
Our next item is recognition. Julia?
Good evening. We have a lot of outstanding students to recognize tonight and also in our future meetings. We're excited to bring that back with us. Unfortunately, there was a scheduling error and conflict, and both wrestling teams were not able to join us tonight. So we are going to start tonight with FCCLA. So I'm going to invite Isabel Krajewski and Miss Engel to the podium. Family, Careers, and Community Leaders of America, FCCLA, is a national organization where students have the opportunity to explore career opportunities and build real-world skills by developing projects, engaging and participating in events, and competing regionally and nationally for scholarships and awards. The work of FCCLA helps students and teachers focus on a variety of youth concerns and career pathways, such as education, hospitality, human services, and design. Isabel Krajewski qualified for state finals in February, and on April 12th, she earned a gold medal in the children's literature events. Congratulations, Isabel. Our FCCLA sponsor, Ms. Kelly Engel, is here to share a little bit more about Isabel.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having us tonight. I'm Kelly Engel. I'm a family consumer science teacher here at Fenton. Kind of like what Julia said, on February 2nd, Isabel competed for the second year in the Career Pathway of Education in the Children's Literature Regional event at College of DuPage. She was required to submit a lesson plan of a storytelling experience and then perform her storytelling presentation in front of a panel of judges. This is definitely not easy to do, considering she had to pretend that there was a class in front of her and interact with invisible students. She was awarded with a perfect score for her performance and even received the title of Most Outstanding. Isabel advanced to the state competition, which was held on April 12th in Springfield. Isabel was awarded again with a gold medal for the second year in a row for her great performance there. Isabel took great initiative with developing a lesson plan, creating props, memorizing a children's story, and much more to create an engaging storytelling experience for young children. Isabel has been a dedicated family consumer science student at Fenton, and I'm excited to say that she will be going off to college next fall to major in elementary education, still thinking about where she wants to go. I have no doubt that she will be an amazing teacher and role model to her future students, and that she will leave a positive, lasting impact on every student that walks into her classroom. I know any child would be extremely lucky to have Miss Krajewski as their teacher. I want to thank everyone at Fenton who not only supports and sees the importance of FCCLA, but also the Family and Consumer Science Department as a whole. I can't wait to see in the years to come how FCCLA and our FCS classes will continue to impact students and inspire them to chase their career goals and to make a difference in this world. Thank you, Isabel, for all of your hard work this year. So many people are proud of you.
Well, Isabel's going to stay there because Isabel also qualified for state with bowling. So she is a two-time state qualifier. So if we can have Coach Cassidy and Coach Janik join us up here as well. Fenton regularly competes against a tough set of schools in the bowling community, but we always hold our own. This year, Isabel averaged 193 pins at an exceptionally difficult sectional en route to qualifying for state. Coach Cassidy is going to give us a little bit more about Isabel and her bowling career.
Thank you for having us. Boy, I can't top any of that's been said already. They stole my thunder on the averages and all that good stuff. But Isabel's been a joy to coach. There's no doubt, there's no reason why she wasn't going to qualify for state. She has the three most important things when it comes to an athlete, which is coachability, hardworking, and commitment. And Isabel was all three of those things. Not only was she a great bowler, but a team leader as well. And we're hoping that next year we can find someone to fill her shoes, but she's got some big shoes to fill. Very proud of Isabel. Again, off-season working, doing all the things that are necessary to be a good athlete and a good bowler. Most of all, though, Isabel is a phenomenal person, and she's being recruited by 2 different schools right now, and she plans on coaching and plans on bowling in college. She hasn't determined which one, but I'm sure she will be very successful in whichever school she chooses. And I'm sure Coach Janik has a couple words he'd like to say. But again, congratulations to Isabel with a phenomenal season for bowling.
I just wanted to echo some of those comments from Coach Cassidy. Being around her, she has an infectious smile. She's a great leader. She makes us better coaches. She's a joy to be around. And to see somebody who was already talented coming in, have the family support she does, work as hard as she does at practice and then in her own time, to see that come to fruition at the end is fantastic. So I'm so very proud to know her and have been a part of her career here. So thank you, Isabel.
I would like to thank all 3 of you guys for all of your support, helping me through all of those stressful times and really exciting times, because without you guys standing behind me, I don't think I would have made it through all of it. Thanks to all my family, because you did the same thing. You were the shoulder that I could go and hug and be upset when things didn't go my way, but you were always there to pick me up and help me keep going. Thanks.
Yes, and we would like to take a picture up front here with Isabel and each coach.
Everybody. They can come up. Can I get Mr. Lewis to step forward?
Mr. Lewis.
If our parents here, you can come forward.
Take a picture if you want.
1, 2, 3.
All right.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Here you go. Congratulations.
All right. So now I'd like to invite up Alejandro Diaz, Xavier Gonzalez, and Coach Taft, and I think the rest of the basketball team's with you as well. So we had an extraordinary boys basketball season filled with record new school records, program milestones, and exciting buzzer beaters. Tonight we recognize Alejandro Diaz and Xavier Gonzalez. Alejandro was named to the 2024 Illinois Basketball Coaches Association third team All-State, which means he's among the top 50 high school basketball players in Illinois. He was also the Upstate 8 Conference Player of the Year, and he is the new all-time leading scorer in the boys basketball program history. Congratulations, Alejandro. Xavier Gonzalez was an Illinois Basketball Coaches Association All-State Special Mention. Congratulations, Xavier. Both of these students led the Bison to the regional championship, and both intend to play basketball in college. Here is Coach Taft to tell us a little bit more.
Hi, thanks everybody for having us, honoring us. We finished the season 28-5, 17-1 in the league. Last outright conference title at Fenton High School, 1948. Okay, 1948. All right. Since 2019, we joined the Upstate 8. We're the only program to win a conference championship. So we have program records for 28 wins, 52 wins in the last 2 years. But besides that, 3 out of the last 5 years, we've won 20 games or more with this group and coming through. 7 kids the last 7 years, we've at least had, we have 7 players playing at the college level, including them too. So only 5% of the high school seniors in the United States go on and play at the next level, Division I, Division II, III, or JUCO. So I'm pretty proud of that. My program, my staff, everybody here that helps this stuff happen. And the best thing about it is that we did it with our community kids. We did it with Bensonville, Wooddale kids, no transfers, everything else. It's been homegrown here at Fenton High School. I think it's the culture that we have. Okay, the program, it's what makes it. Okay, everybody thinks the same things, behaves the same way. We all strive for the same thing, and that's winning. That's what we want to do. Is we want to put a winning team on the floor all the time. The reason that we have to talk about these 2 gentlemen tonight is it's not just them 2, but they wouldn't be here without the rest of these guys here. You know, it's a big team effort. It's a huge team effort in what we do here. And the culture that we have and the teammates that we play with, they're just as important as these 2 guys. And that's why I have them all up here, my staff, everybody else. Xavier Gonzalez, he's honorable mention All-State IBCA. He averaged 17.9 points a game, 3.3 assists a game, 2.0 rebounds per game, 3 steals a game. He was unanimous All-State, unanimous Upstate All-Conference, DuPage Daily Herald All-Area, All-Tournament at our own Chuck Mitchell Thanksgiving Tournament. He's a 1,000-point scorer. In just 2 in like a half years. He has the COVID year. He got hurt last year as a junior, and he tore his ACL, and he still scored 1,000 points in his career. He's undecided where he's going to go to college. He does have multiple offers right now. He's just going to be very selective in what's the best spot for him. Alejandro Diaz, 3rd team IBCA All-State. He averaged 16 points a game for us, 3.6 assists, 6 rebounds a game, 3.2 steals a game, 1 block a game. He was the player of the year in the Upstate 8. Player of the year. Daily Herald All-Area team. He was also on the Chuck Mitchell All-Tournament team for our Thanksgiving. He will be playing June 8th in the IBCA All-Star game in the state of Illinois, which is the highest honor for the All-Stars in the state of Illinois. Okay? He's selected by the coaches to play in that game. There's a whole committee for that and everything. So Alejandro Diaz will be playing June 8th in the IBCA All-Star game. He's also joined the 1,000-point club. He's, like Ms. Bray said, he's the leading scorer, or the all-time leading scorer, but he's also the all-time leader in assists, steals, and blocks. Wow. Okay? He has a 4.3 GPA. He's number 9 out of 320. It's just unbelievable. That's the right here. And next year he's going to be going to North Central College to continue his academics and his playing career. So those two and our team, okay, I want to congratulate them. Thank you guys for having us tonight and just honoring them. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ali.
So we would also like to recognize Coach Taft for being named the Illinois Basketball Coaches Association Co-Coach of the Year for District 7. Since Coach Taft has arrived at Fenton, he has broken records repeatedly, including breaking his own records only a few years later. This year was yet another record year at 28 wins and 5 losses, the best season Fenton has ever had. This year was also the first time any Fenton High School sports team has won the Upstate 8 Conference Championship. Coach Taft has grown our program, and he goes above and beyond to help our students reach their full potential. Thank you, Coach, and congratulations.
Can we start with Coach and Alejandro and Xavier up here?
Right, come on up.
And then we'll fill the guys in.
Yeah, come on up.
Yeah, you guys, man.
No, thank you. Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations. Great job. All right. Great job.
You guys going next week?
The other coach.
All right, everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. And then the rest of the team, you guys want to fill in?
Yeah, why not?
Make this work somehow.
Yeah. Come on up and just right across the front. Come on up across the front, guys.
It's a great.
You have younger knees.
There he is. There's Harnish.
We can, wherever we can see it.
Yeah, just right here. There you go. Turn around. There you go.
I'm in there.
All right. Okay. We're set the bar pretty high for these. There you go.
Same here. To all of my guys.
Congratulations, guys. Congratulations.
As we continue with the rest of our meeting, I want to remind everyone about our intent to seek proposals for an independent review of actions taken by Fenton Community High School District 100 regarding our former staff member. The independent review will provide an objective and impartial assessment of the school district's handling of the situation and will include an unbiased evaluation of our procedures, compliance with policies and regulations, and the appropriateness of actions taken. Trust in your local school is paramount, and this independent review is another step toward rebuilding that trust. A formal vote to seek proposals will occur later tonight. In the action items portion of tonight's meeting, we have other business that occurs first, and we thank you for your patience as we address every item on our agenda tonight. With that being said, Karen, do we have any public comments?
No, we do not.
Our next item is informational items. Sam?
Yes, so let's start out with a little student life and testing updates with Ms. Bray.
Okay, so we have a couple of slides. First, we had state testing on Wednesday, April 17th and Thursday, April 18th. So our juniors were here for 2 days. They took the SAT and the Illinois Science Assessment, the ISA. SAT is a graduation requirement, and ISA is it's in compliance with federal testing requirements. Illinois requires public school students in grades 5, 8, and 11 to take the exam. Our sophomores took the PSAT, and our freshmen took the PSAT as well. The PSAT 10 for sophomores and PSAT 8, 9 for freshmen. The next slide has a little bit of information regarding our attendance rates on those days. So our seniors were able to work on things that they needed to complete their graduation requirements on those days. They were able to do some community service. And we had our juniors and sophomores in the building on day 1 of testing. 92% of our juniors took the SAT. 91% of our sophomores, our attendance rate with the PSAT 10, and overall was 92% attendance rate for day 1 of testing. Day 2 of testing, our juniors took the ISA again, 94.5% attendance rates, 92% with our freshmen, and overall 93.7%. All of those, each of those days were up from last year. So we're really happy with that. We are doing a makeup SAT later this week to kind of get the last remaining juniors so that they can check that box off with their graduation requirement.
Is that graduation requirement a Illinois state law requirement, or is that a Fenton requirement?
It is one that we have here. I don't think it's the Illinois state one, but we do have that graduation requirement here for our students.
Thank you.
And next year there is the potential to move to ACT. So this year we took the SAT, and next year the state is looking at ACT. Yep. Student life. So we had an eclipse party. We thought it was a really great experience for our students to be able to go outside and see the eclipse. So we had a special schedule on that day. We took our students outside. With the construction on the field, we were not able to go into the stands and on the field like we did last time. So we were out in the front of the building, and our students each got glasses. They were able to enjoy that. Mr. Baker put together a whole playlist for us. He was telling students what was going on. Each of our students' classes, the Bison Time classes, they had information that was with the teachers. They were able to do different shadows, see some information, and there was also an informational video that students saw before we went outside to see the eclipse. So that was a really great experience. A lot of comments about how it was a great feeling to be out there and to build that community piece. We also had a health and wellness week. We tried to bring some activities to increase our morale with our students, to bring some fun activities for them to de-stress a little bit. We're getting to the end of the year, and students are kind of getting stressed out with turning in projects or finishing up classes, so we wanted to try to bring back some activities that could just be fun for them. So a couple of the days here you see, we had Legos and Eggos. We had a games day. We had some pet therapy, so our pets from different partnering organizations came and were able to work with our students. Mrs. Wright in the ARC, she brought some of her materials to the community room. She did some art with our students. And then, of course, Tugboat came and joined us. Tugboat's birthday was on over the weekend, so we celebrated on the following Monday. Tugboat is one of our therapy dogs, by the way. Yeah. And then student life, the last piece of student life, our SpongeBob musical is happening this weekend. We had our student assembly, our spring assembly today, and students got a preview of the musical. It's amazing. It was about 12 minutes long today, and it's amazing. High energy, super fun, really colorful. It's a great family show. So if you can join us this weekend for the show, that would be great. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 2 performances on Saturday. So.
Okay, thank you, Julia. So very brief, quick school calendar update. So we started the year with 177 student attendance days. Currently, we're at 176 student attendance days, which is the minimum. You may recall March the 22nd, we had to cancel that day. But right now, our plans are not to make up that student attendance day. Calendars aren't finalized until after May the 1st, but I just wanted to give that update on that particular day. Next, we have the STEM wing and alternate bid recommendation.
Sure, just a brief overview. We talked about this earlier this evening at our Finance Committee meeting, Finance Facility meeting. We did open bids for the STEM Addition project on April 2nd. Gil Bain, the district's construction manager, reviewed the bids, met with each contractor to confirm their understanding of the scope, schedule, and requirements of the work. After that was vetted, that whole process, we are presenting 17 bids later this evening for the board to act on that are all tied to this project. We also are recommending 5 alternate bids that are associated with this work and some work outside of that, including the band room, renovation work to the band room, and new stadium restrooms. We also are including a summary page with all the contractor bid values and the bid results for each trade. And the bids, as I said, were received on April 2nd, and we'll ask the board to act on it later this evening on the action on that project.
Very good. Next slide. I wanted to briefly update on a potential grant that we're hopeful that we will obtain. It's called the Stronger Connections Grant. And overall, what the Stronger Connections Grant looks to do is provide all students with safe and supportive learning environments, critical for their success by establishing emergency operation plans, a positive school climate, as well as student wellness. The minimum amount is $100,000. Like I said, we're optimistic because we did land the Fenton Cares grant that we talked about at past meetings that provides free mental health care for not just our students, but also our families. So we see a connection here with that grant, and we fit the profile of a school that would hopefully qualify. So I wanted to let you know, part of our mission to look for extra grant funds that are out there.
The minimum is 100,000. Is there a maximum?
Yeah, there is. You know what? It's pretty high. That would probably go to like a really large district, I would anticipate. So I just wanted to kind of give you a bit of the scope of its significant funds that we would hopefully qualify for. Okay, next, I want to actually introduce Be Sure Consulting, Rich Wistocki. And just so the board is aware, there's a folder that we passed out so you could refer to this. I was pleased to meet Rich a few weeks ago. He's a child crime expert, and he has a team of individuals, some of them here today. And our intention is to partner with them moving forward. They work with school staff, parents, and students with different types of programs. And I'm just going to let him talk rather than try to explain what he does, because he'll probably do it better. So go ahead, Rich.
Can I press this? So we good? Okay. Good evening, everyone. Board, thanks for having us here. My name is Detective Rich Wistocki. I've been in law enforcement for 30 years. 28 of those years was with the Naperville Police Department. Spent 4.5 years in patrol, and in 1995, I went into juvenile investigations. In 1998, we had our first internet predator come from Brentwood, Tennessee, up to Naperville, and unfortunately assaulted one of our 13-year-olds in our city. Well, that was the start of our internet crimes unit. I took over her account, became her, and 6 months later, he came and did it again, but this time he met me and some of my friends. So the Department of Justice in 2000 created something called an ICAC, ICAC, Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. There are 6,000 trained up detectives who are in the business of protecting children, not only in person, but in online. Myself, I'd like to introduce some of my team members This is Rob Ferber. Rob is retired from the Westchester Police Department, and he has over 30 years of experience. He's one of my right-hand people who teaches for us now. To my left is James Tanksley. He was my SWAT brother for 22 years at the Naperville Police Department. He is still working for the Naperville Police Department and has been an SRO for 15 years. James Natoli, my partner, is a security systems expert working at Cisco, McAfee, and what we have a partnership in doing, when I was catching hackers, swatters, ransomwares, he was my right-hand man. You will see what we bring to the table is empowerment to your students and to your parents. We empower students by giving them the message, no one has the right to make them feel bad about themselves, online or in person. No one has the right to make them do something they know that they should not be doing. Last year, we taught 300,000 students across this country. After our presentations, we had 35 students come to us after our presentations saying, that's happening to me. We had to open up 28 criminal investigations, one of them of a school right down the street where a 45-year-old man in Lombard had a scheme to hire babysitters, but they had to meet him for sex first. We put a stop to that. Within 2 hours, I called my friends at the FBI. We arrested this person, and he had 10 other victims locally in this area. So I assure you that we are going to protect your kids, your families, by training them, training your faculty, and being able to have a conversation. Not only that, we are also going to be involved in the hiring process to do background internet investigations on people who will work for your school. We also, James and I, have created a program called Juvenile Justice Online. We want to stop kids being arrested out of school. We have over 12,000 people using this across the country, and this is a diversion program because, let's face it, our kids make mistakes, and we want to stop the pipeline to prison, and we give education, diversion, restorative justice, so the mistakes that our kids make, we hold them responsible, but through an educational process. And what our stats are, the last 2 years, James has compiled the stats. Over the last few years, we had over 1,000 students across the country become involved in our diversion program. Our success rate is 86% of those kids were never seen again in a criminal justice setting. Less than 1% of those kids that have been through our program reoffended. So thank you for having us here, and we expect to work with all of you to making your students safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rich. Okay, next slide. The YWCA, we met with Melanie Morong, Education Services Coordinator, last week. The YWCA, for those that don't know their mission, is to provide individuals with support and tools for any student and or staff that need to heal from some form of trauma. So we're actually starting small groups tomorrow during Bison time. We've notified our seniors of the availability, strictly on a sign-up basis that they feel like they would be interested. And this is part of our commitment to bring in outside supports as we finish the school year. Obviously, our seniors, they have a lot of mixed emotions now. As Julia mentioned, they have a lot going on and to look forward to, and we want to make sure we prepare them the best we can moving forward. So we're also going to partner with them. Next, we have our food services bid.
Sure. Just to kind of keep the board aware of what's happening, you are all aware that we had to go out for bid for our food service program. It's been actually 6 years. We had 1-year extensions, typically 5-year deal. But we do bid out our food service program for our food service management services. So we did open bids on April 15th. There is a process we have to go through with the State Board of Education. We're part of the National School Lunch Program, so there's a lot of regulations we need to follow. So there's a pre-contract approval process that we submitted today to the Illinois State Board of Education. We hope to hear back with them soon, but we are recommending Arbor Management, which is our incumbent food service provider now, and we expect to bring a recommendation, formal recommendation to you at the May board meeting.
Okay, next, we have quite a few FOIAs to go through. Mr. Harmeal.
Yes, so since our last board meeting, we received 8 FOIAs. All have been resolved, so I'll just go through numerically. Number 1, requested the personnel file of a former employee. Number 2, requested any documentation related to suspicious behavior pertaining to a former employee, as well as documents related to suspicious reportings to any other staff at Fenton. Number 3 was charges and bill of particulars that were adopted March 18th regarding the termination of a previous employee. Number 4, all complaints filed against a former employee during his employment record during disciplinary actions, including disciplinary actions, and/or decisions not to discipline during his tenure. Number 5, any and all documentations and digital records, photos, et cetera, related to termination of previous employee and sexual harassment claims and/or settlements from the past 10 years against anyone in the district. Number 6, requested personnel report from March and February meetings, notice of non-renewal, dismissal reports from March, and the current superintendent contract. Number 7, copies of superintendent and assistant superintendent contracts describing salary. And number 8 was a quarterly request for purchases from Smart Procure.
Thank you. I also wanted to give a update on some of the threats that we have experienced. To this point, we've had 5 bomb threats, 1 per week, not this week. All of them have been unfounded. I think that's important to keep repeating. All of them are unfounded. Here's some common themes that we've seen through our dealings with law enforcement. Threats originated outside of the country. Bensenville Police and the New York FBI are still investigating. It's primarily an FBI investigation. And whenever a threat has come to us, there's also been threats that go out to other entities across the country at the same time. So it's not just directed at us. With that being said, I want to reassure everyone that we take each threat individually. The threats that have come in have been an email threat. 1 came through a news service, and we look at it individually with law enforcement. They bring their resources in, and we go from there. If you recall the last threat, we were able to evacuate the building and do a search of the building with law enforcement, and then we did a 10 o'clock start later that day. That is going to be our intention when we encounter these situations, assuming that it comes early enough in the morning, is to still be back in person, which is preferred instruction rather than e-learning. But I just want to reassure everyone safety and security is our utmost priority, and we'll continue to update the community as needed on these situations.
Next item is consent agenda. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Figueroa,
Yes.
Rago,
Yes.
Haid,
Yes.
Kovac,
Yes.
Radzinski,
Yes.
Goodrich,
Abstain.
Lewis.
Yes. Motion passed. May I have a motion that the Board of Education approves the purchase of 2 Palo Alto PA 1410 firewall units, along with associated installation and 3-year license and support agreements for a total of $68,192.24 from Heartland Business Systems.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes. Are we going to get reimbursed for some of this?
Yeah, Dr. Batson will answer that.
Yeah, good evening. This is actually a pair of items we discussed 2 board meetings ago, actually. This is through an E-rate funding process. We apply for E-rate funding based on our free and reduced lunch percentage, and we get a reimbursement. Right now, our percentage, we get 80% back on money that we spend on infrastructure and internet access. So this is part of that process. This is a second, we did an E-rate purchase 2 board meetings ago, and this one is a second purchase that will get most of it 80% reimbursed for the cost. So, you know, we're due for these to be replaced. They're about 6.5, 7 years old. And so this is part of the cycle of replacing that.
So it's not, we may have to do $68,000 out of pocket, but
Exactly.
we're going to get $54,000 back.
Exactly, somewhere in that vicinity. A couple things aren't covered, but yeah, a good chunk of it we'll get back.
All right.
Roll call?
Figueroa,
Yes.
Rago,
Yes.
Haid,
Yes.
Kovac,
Yes.
Radzinski,
Yes.
Goodrich,
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes. Motion passed. May I have a motion that the Board of Education approves the fiscal year 2024 purchase of 345 Lenovo 500E Chromebook computers from CDWG for the amount of $193,000. $193,000.
Yeah, it's not that good of a deal.
$1,890.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah. What happened to all the old Chromebooks?
Dr. Batson.
I'm ready to talk. So our process with our Chromebooks, that some of you may know, but for the newer board members, many years ago we went to a process where every freshman would get a new Chromebook. These Chromebooks last about 4 years. We purchased them with a protection plan, a warranty, and an accidental damage protection plan that lasts 4 years. So the freshmen get them as they come in. They last for 4 years, and we just keep doing that cycle. So every year we buy enough to cover the incoming freshman class. This year it's about 345 Chromebooks that we're purchasing. Part of this is, while it's not reimbursed, part of this is funded through the Title I grant funding. So we do get a portion of this funded through some federal monies, again, based on our free and reduced lunch count. So this is just our standard annual purchase. We put it in the budget. We budget for these every year. They go up a little bit every year. We were able to, this year we went out and got some alternate quotes. This is a consortium bid process. It's an Illinois statewide consortium that does pre-bids all these products for schools so that we don't have to go, all of us don't have to reinvent the wheel and do that. So this is a consortium bidded item, but nevertheless, just to keep people honest, we went out and got some alternate quotes. This by far was the lowest price. So, you know, it's just our standard. We're up here March, April every year doing this process so that we can have them prepared. Many of them go to the freshmen as they enter summer school programs in the summer, so we want to have them prepared for that. So that's the reason for this.
And you did say that they're used to purchase with Title I funds.
Yeah, we use a portion of about, I want to say $25,000, I think, of this purchase this year is Title I funding.
Because if we don't use those funds, do we lose them, right? So it's, right?
Yeah, well, there is a rollover provision, so we typically don't, we spend them all, or we roll over what we haven't spent and use it the following year.
Yeah, we were fortunate to have the Title I, especially in the earlier days. It made up a much larger percentage of the purchase price of these, but we've been able to sort of push that back a little bit and let those title funds go through to some other programs that were important as well. Anything else? Thank you.
Roll call.
Figueroa,
Yes.
Rago,
Yes.
Haid,
Yes.
Kovac,
Yes.
Radzinski,
Yes.
Goodrich,
Abstain.
Lewis.
Yes. Motion passed. May I have a motion that the Board of Education approve the amended construction management contract and the pre-construction proposal with Gilbane Building Company as presented?
So moved?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, are we just approving the contract, or are we actually approving the numbers, or?
Well, you're approving, that's a separate action item. I think the bid is what you're referring to.
Yeah, I'm looking at 26.
This is for the amended contract for Gilbane to be continue to be our construction manager for the STEM project and the pre-construction work that they've done. So these are two contracts from Gilbane that we're asking the board to approve.
All right, so for the moment, it has nothing to do with this, it's 26 million.
Correct, that's correct.
So,
Roll call?
Figueroa,
Yes.
Rego,
Yes.
Haid,
Yes.
Kovac,
Yes.
Radzinski,
Yes.
Goodrich,
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes. Motion passed. May I have a motion that the Board of Education, based on the bids received for bid release 1, recommended awarding a contract to the firms for Fenton High School's STEM Addition project. Furthermore, it is recommended to award alternate bids 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as presented.
So moved?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, quickly. No, there was some public comment, now we're talking about the 26 million.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, given the school's attempts at 3 referendums, the lowest latest one being $65 million, and saying how important that was, I find it ironic that now that there's, you know, $34 or $5 million, you're putting in a building addition instead. But that's the end of my comments.
We have a very old building. There's no one can live in their house for 60 years and not make improvements to it. It's just impossible. We would just be bad stewards to not look to improve the building. Quite honestly, in my opinion. Not the board's, mine. It's necessary. It's for our kids. My daughter's about to leave, but the rest of the kids in this community. And to be frank, and you can say, Bruce, the cost of this STEM don't cover the infrastructure necessary that would have been paid for out of the $65 million. Would that be an accurate statement?
Yes, that's correct.
It is necessary. Yes, it's going to be a tough fight for it, but it's worthwhile.
I just want to be conscious that, you know, when I was in high school, having a cell phone in my pocket was a brick. Today, there's more power in this thing here than put men on the moon, right? We need to be conscious and aware that science, technology, mathematics, these things are progressing at a rate we've never seen before. And we don't have the infrastructure in this building to support this rapid growth and to empower our students to really be the leaders in technology, science, and to lead us forward. This project is helping us help those students become those leaders of tomorrow, right? So while I do understand that the building itself needs a lot of work, we can't sacrifice their potential education with this to fix something that maybe we should have fixed many years ago. We got to continue to move forward for our students while also trying to do what we can with the building that we have. So I do understand that some folks are a little underwhelmed with doing the STEM project, but I see it, at least from my perspective, that it is necessary in order for our children to have opportunities that they otherwise wouldn't have if we just used it to fix things that should have been fixed a long time ago. So,
But isn't this, as far as staging, this project was necessary for space to allow normal school operations to go if a referendum would pass that the two was going on at the same time to allow at least a shifting round of classes?
Yeah, school wouldn't be interrupted with this addition, no.
Correct.
And this also now frees up space because we use every bit of our space, so I doubt referendum chances are going to improve over the next couple of years. It'll allow us to use existing funds, I would hope, to do work in the classrooms we're emptying and continue to kind of work through the school in increments. It's, yeah. It's a step we have to take since we didn't get the referendum, because now we have the ability to free up classrooms, no mobile homes, no mobile trailers, continue the integrity of the school. I agree with everything everyone has said so far. Call the vote.
Roll call.
Figueroa,
Yes.
Rego,
Yes.
Haid,
Yes.
Kovac,
Yes.
Radzinski,
Yes.
Goodrich,
Abstain.
Lewis.
Yes. Motion passed. We are seeking individuals or firms to perform an independent review of actions taken by Fenton Community High School District 100 regarding the situation with our former staff member. We believe taking this step to address staff and community concerns will restore confidence in our supportive and positive learning environment. As shared earlier, this will be an unbiased evaluation of our procedures, compliance with policies and regulations, and the appropriateness of the action taken. In addition, selected individual or firm will have full access to all relevant and confidential information in order to make appropriate recommendations. The content of those documents will remain confidential per Illinois statutes. This RFP will be publicly posted following tonight's vote. We hope to review and consider a qualified firm that can be brought to the May 22nd Board of Education meeting. May I have a motion that the Board of Education approve the request for proposal for independent review as presented?
I make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Figueroa,
Yes.
Rego,
Yes.
Haid,
Yes.
Kovac,
Yes.
Radzinski,
Yes.
Goodrich,
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes. Motion passed. May I have a motion that the Board of Education approve the resolution to appoint Michelle Papanicolo, Director of Post-Secondary Pathways and Career Tech Education, as Fenton's representative for DuPage Area Occupational Educational System as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Figueroa,
Yes.
Rego,
Yes.
Haid,
Yes.
Kovac,
Yes.
Radzinski,
Yes.
Goodrich,
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes, motion passed. May I have a motion that the Board of Education approve the purchase of three 2018 school buses for a price of $67,975 per bus from Midwest Transit Equipment. The total purchase will be $203,925 that will be paid from the 2024-25 fiscal year.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Figueroa,
Yes.
Rego,
Yes.
Haid,
Yes.
Kovac,
Yes.
Radzinski,
Yes.
Goodrich,
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes, and motion passed. May I have a motion that the Board of Education authorizes the district administration to enter into a 5-year lease agreements for the following vehicles: 271 passenger pre-driven model year 2020 buses at $16,955 each, for a total of $33,910 per year. 114 passenger new 2025 white activity bus at $19,828 per year. 127 passenger new 2025 yellow bus at $21,763 per year.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Figueroa,
Yes.
Rego,
Yes.
Haid,
Yes.
Kovac,
Yes.
Radzinski,
Yes.
Goodrich,
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes. Motion passed. Does anyone have any committee reports?
I could report on the Bensonville Foundation. I did attend the last meeting. There was only one small grant that was approved at that time. A project for benches at the grammar schools in Bensonville is moving forward. I think they're getting in place this week. And then the foundation did receive a contribution, their yearly contribution from Subaru. I believe it was in the area of about $84,000 off the top of my head. So we'll continue to be funded into next year. And this is our off month, so there should be a meeting next month, and I'll report further then.
I guess I can report a follow-up with the finance facilities meeting that happened earlier today, where we talked about or discussed the stadium updates, the Gilbert contract amendments that were just voted on, the stem wing, the alternate bids, the field house door replacement, the new office furniture that was discussed earlier, the bus purchase and lease and other items. If that, all the committee reports. Our next board meeting, Wednesday, May 22nd, 2024, at 7 p.m. with a groundbreaking stem wing ceremony at 5 p.m. prior to the regular meeting. There will be no actions taken after closed session. May I have a motion? I repeat, there will be no actions taken after the closed session. May I have a motion and a second to go into closed session for the following? A, 5 Illinois CS 120/2C1, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of Fenton Community High School District 100. B, 5 Illinois CS 120/2C2, collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Figueroa,
Yes.
Rego,
Yes.
Haid,
Yes.
Kovac,
Yes.
Radzinski,
Yes.
Goodrich,
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes, motion passed.
We'll take 10 before we go into executive, sir.
to we need a motion.
A motion that we go back into open session.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Figueroa?
Yes.
Rego? Yes. Cade? Yes. Kovac?
Abstain.
Yes.
Goodrich?
Yes.
Yes, why not? We got to have some fun.
Motion.
No, it's not a motion.
No. Did you?
Right? Adjourn.
Oh,
Motion for adjournment.
I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second. No, that was to get back into open. Now we got to adjourn.
Roll call.
El Presidente.
Roll call.
Figueroa?
Yes.
Rego? Yes. Cade? Yes. Kovac?
Yes.
Krasinski?
Yes, please.
Yes.
For the love.
Okay.
Let this end.
Now that we're closed.